Hello, you know this is. This is your main man, Jay Mack. Thank you for joining me in the Fassst Lane. You know what we do it over here. Legendary. Now, I'm on February the 4th, 2020. Now, I had a dream that my phone had rang, and I answered it, and it was my girlfriend. But the thing is, the dream just woke me up. So I went back to sleep. I don't know if that was a good dream or a bad dream. So you know what to do when you can't decipher the dream. You thank God if it's a good one, come into agreement with it. If it isn't, you condemn it. Rebuke it and condemn it. Now, I had another dream where I was just in this room. Then all of a sudden, men came rushing in the room with guns. Now, even though I was in the room, I was in the vantage point of, what is it? First person shooter, like a video game. And it happened instantly. I was just in the room, but when the guys rushed in, I just turned like I was in the game. And as the man came in, all of a sudden, I had a gun. Now, like Minister Ewan said, that is a blessing right there. Like, that's a sign of aid and assistance from God, supernatural help. Now, I had a gun just like that, and I thank God for that in the dream, because even in the dream I was marveled at how quick that happened. Just as the guys entered the room, they were collecting headshots. Everyone just get dropped, instant. Now, there was a swarm of people trying to get, well, they weren't trying to get into the room. They were coming into the room. Now, the thing is, the bodies didn't pile up just as they dropped, probably 6, 7 at a time. It was like there was no pile up. They just keep vanishing. That to me was a good sign. I knew just what that meant. All the attempts of the beast was being just swept away. Another blessing for me was that the bullets never ran out. The more people came in, I had a bullet for every last one of them. I knew just what that was. I now had help, and I now had weapons and tools to fight the beast with. Now, while I was shooting these people as they kept coming in, this is how I know this was the beast. The beast was like, oh, this is pointless, this is useless, you're wasting your time. And I said, oh, no. I just kept giving everyone their headshot, serving them, giving them all a hot plate. I just kept going and going. And I woke up from that dream. And I know exactly what that meant. The beast's relentless attack, which used to overwhelm me, didn't overwhelm me anymore. I had a tool, I had a toy, I had a weapon, an unlimited supply of bullets. People, sit at the feet of Minister Ewan. You're going to learn a lot. I can tell you that. But being overrun to now having tools and weapons and know-how, I could now take on the beast and defeat the beast. And as this dream shows, lay them down flat. Okay, I told that dream first. Okay, this is my third dream for February 4th. I was fixing someone's car and scraping the rubber off the metal to make sure it was clean. No, I don't know what that was. It looked like a good job. I was fixing someone's car and cleaning it. I mean, I could take it that was my car, because you know, car represents progress, freedom, independence. So the car had stopped and now is being fixed. So I thank God for that, but in the event that the beast is being slick and conniving, I also rebuke it. Now, this is my fourth dream. I was walking in the subway and I had to walk up the 5th floor, and I walked to the 4th floor. I was with some lady I know from before, and even though she was walking beside me, she was behind me telling me where to go. I had to get, I had to walk up the 5th floor and walk down to the 4th floor. I have no idea what that was. But if since I couldn't tell what it was, you know how I do it? I thank God for it and I come into agreement with it. If not, I rebuke it. Now, this person, because of our relationship, I didn't like how she was standing beside me and was telling me where to go from behind. So, to me, it's like duplicity. So, I had to condemn that. I mean, I consider that to be a partial bad dream. So, so even though I rebuked the dream if it wasn't good, I I had I had a problem with the person being beside me and telling me what to do from behind. Wait. This one, the 5th dream. I was someone's house to check on a container. I had to check for a disease. I went to the house and a young man walked out and an old man walked out to me and I was calling to the young man. I was looking at the container from a neighbor's house. The neighbor came out and told me I can go into the neighbor's yard. I had no idea what that dream was about. So if it was good, I thank God for it. If not, I rebuked it. Oh, there's more. You see, the container was dirty or alright. The container was dirty or the contents was dirty. It was far back on the property. It was dark, but the other side of the road, it was daytime. Oh yes, I remember this dream, yeah. Then I approached the container, a house pops up, and it was disjointed and separated. Yes, I remember this. The house with the young man was separated. He walked out and I didn't see his face. I knew he was frustrated. I would give him 50 grand and a little advice. Books to read and tell him to do the same to 10. Oh, the young man didn't want to be in that house. The one that is separate. The one that was disjointed. This looks like as the family grew or their needs changed, they added on to the house. Illegally. You just slap another room on, slap another room on, slap another room on. And the young man looks like he was a good, decent man, but because of the circumstances he found himself in, it was affecting him negatively. And I know the feeling, so that's why I probably felt like, hey, if I had it, I would have helped him out. Oh, and I told him, but the same thing my neighbor taught me as a young man, that my neighbor used to give me a lot of books to read. And it turned out to be an awesome aid in life. And I asked him when I got over, how can I ever repay you? And he said, do the same thing for 10 people and tell those 10 do the same thing for another 10. And this is why I told the young man in the dream that when the time comes, he used to do for 10 people like what I did for him. I tell those 10 do for another 10. Let's see. Identify like how. That container, the house, the old man. Alright, that's it. I'll go over the dream again because it was kind of confusing. Alright. This is the 5th dream. I was going to I don't know what the container was. It was huge. I shouldn't just say container like you think it's Tupperware. But it was a huge container. It probably it could hold about 200 gallons of liquid. Now, as I said in the dream, I went to check it out to make sure it was clean and free of disease. I don't know what I wanted it for. But anyway, I remember the young man coming out and the old man. Then this disjointed house coming out. Then it was like this big tree. And the tree separated, the day, which is behind it. And everything in front of the tree was dark. And this is where the house was with the old man. And then all of a sudden this disjointed house popped up. And then this young man came out who looked like he didn't belong there. And he just needed one opportunity to get out. And I was more glad to help him with money, advice, and books. And to let him know he doesn't owe me anything. Yeah. What he has to do to pay me back is to help do the same for 10 other people. Alright, now start with February 4th. That dream had elements of good and bad in it. Because I was able to help the young man even though he was in a bad situation. But those dirty containers, the fact that I was making sure it was not only clean but disease free was a warning. But I knew what that was about. I knew just what that was about. And this disjointed disjointed, messed up, jaggedy house. I know just what that was about. But who and what that represent. So, whoever the young man was, whether it was me or not, I prayed for him. I made it a point that when the time comes, if I find someone in the same situation I was in, I can make sure to do something good for them to help them get in a better situation. But in this dream, you know, I thank God for the good in it. I rebuke the dirty container. For some reason, the old man, because it seems like he was influencing the first young man. Because the first young man, when he came out, hey, he was cordial. Once the old man came out, he got me inspirited. So I knew exactly what that meant, so I rebuked that. What else? Oh, the dirty container. Then the house just popping up. Then this big tree with no leaves. That's the thing about it. The tree had no leaves, but it was able to block out the light. Even though I could see light behind it, everything in front of it became dark. That's a sure sign of witchcraft. Anyway, thank you for joining me in the Fassst Lane. Please sit at the feet of the minister and learn all you can from him. Live legendary, people.